I don't know my name. My name is Judy Birdie. I want to know how many bathrooms we're going to have. I want to see dozens of porta potties all over this island. And whatever color, if Figment can decorate them, the more the better. That's a very, very big question. Ask any business on the event on the Cherry Blossom. You sell water, things happen. We need lots of porta potties. Are you having events on both sides, promenades? Are there going to be acts or things going on the East and West Promenade? Mariana? Are they going to, as if I get off the tram or the subway or the ferry, are there going to be things leading up to Lighthouse Park?
Yeah, there will be. Just on the west end, near the meditation steps.
Okay.
And then the river walk, which is right nearby there. That's what it's called. River Cross Walk.
River Cross Lawn.
Lawn, yeah. The Manhattan Building.
Manhattan Park.
Manhattan
The theater
Park.
club.
And the playground, and then Lighthouse, and the pavilion in front of Kohler. So it's all on the west end.
Okay, okay, in simple words, if people come off, if they go directly on the West Promenade, they'll see the different events as they proceed. They won't be on Main Street, they won't be on the East Promenade, they'll be on the West Promenade.
Yeah, we'll have greeters at the subway station and at each point directing them up west.
Okay. By the way, it's already listed on Mommy Poppins, so beware.
I saw that.
Yes, I know. And Mommy Poppins is a website that young families love, and lots of them came to prove it on the Cherry Blossom Day because everything's free. The other thing is water, selling water, vendors, food. How is that going to be? Our merchants. Really, our merchants want to know if they put food out in front of their restaurant or their business, they want to sell it. And are there specific areas where there are going to be food, or can, I sell food on the promenade, or can I sell water on the promenade or in front of the hospital? Is there any restriction, or can we just, Are there food trucks? Are there food vendors coming?
Are you asking whether you can sell water?
No, I mean, I sell water in the visitors.
Right now, I know that, I believe it was Figment that went to all of the businesses on the island to tell them to stock up.
Okay.
Because it'll be a big weekend, hopefully, for them. I know that the senior center will be selling water in front of the senior center. RIAC will have water stations throughout the island. There will be some food trucks in the parking lot outside of Lighthouse. And I think that covers it.
One more thing. It's a long walk from the train to Lighthouse.
Judy, I asked a question. We got people waiting.
Okay. One more question. There's a long walk. The red bus is going to go as far as Octagon as usual. Okay. People with disabilities, are there going to be any special buses? Or?
Yes, there's going to be, Rita is going to be running their bus for disabled, and we haven't yet talked about how we're going to implement that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Frank France, and I documented a lot of the Cherry Blossom Festival, and my concerns largely are about that one going forward is a lot of the transportation infrastructure. I think that Judy did a great job of already asking some of the questions I was going to ask on porta potties and stuff like that. So I have like three main areas of questions. It's all about traffic, okay? So question number one, on the Queen side, how far are you going to push back on traffic control? Because it seems to me that having officers at the other end of the bridge creates such a massive, jam over there that at the Cherry Blossom Festival, it backed up on the 21st and then into Manhattan because of an event on Roosevelt Island. So traffic in Manhattan was backed up.
Okay, let's have the committee.
And I was going to suggest that if you can use 11th Avenue and divert people around the event, that would be great.
All right, so we're going to be requesting a traffic agent detail of 1 supervisor and 8 traffic agents. They're going to be, that's all going to be left up to them. It's not fixed, so if we need to move those traffic agents to address other intersections, we could do that. That's what the supervisor does. She'll pick up a traffic agent, move them somewhere else where they're needed more. But that's going to be left up entirely to that traffic detail.
Okay. The second question on traffic then concerns Deputy Chief in terms of Motorgate. I think the key thing is that if residents have ID, and putting aside that it might take a little longer to get back, the idea of distributing something within 8 days to go among all the Motorgate patrons, I think is hard. The fact that we all have fobs that we all use, that all have our parking ID and driver's license or whatever, I think that might, simplify.
We were just using that so that can expedite traffic. But if you have ID or if you have your fob,
I'll follow up with you.
You can get right in. But we have these placards that are lime green that officer can see from 2 blocks away, and that expedites right onto the bridge and into Motorgate.
Kevin, are the placards created already?
Yes, they're at Motorgate.
And so please, if you have a spot in Motorgate, if that's where you park, next time you pick up your car or leave, pick it up in Motorgate, please.
Okay, and then the last is now once you get onto the island then in terms of traffic here. So one of the problems that we had at the Cherry Blossom Festival, which was like the July 4th event in 2007, was that there was so much pedestrian traffic that it flowed into the streets and therefore made emergency vehicles coming and going problematic because there wasn't enough traffic control and people control on that. I'm not going to ask you right now what your plan is for that, but I'm going to say you need to have a plan because once you start having mobs, then it really...
We didn't have any mobs that day.
Well, I didn't say mob, I'm sorry. I meant,
No, for us, it's...
no, but there were significant enough pedestrians in the road that it
I
needed...
totally agree with you.
Okay, that's what, I'm sorry if I misspoke. Okay, that's it, thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
Good evening, and it's a pleasure seeing the panel. I'm sure you're well prepared. I have just 2 questions. They're quite straightforward and simple. The first question is, given the past activities on Governor's Island, what have we learned from the experience there that will help us here?
In regards to what?
In regards to the actual activities themselves, the impact upon the surrounding area, how it's contained, and how do you compare Governor's Island to the structure here on Roosevelt Island?
I would say it's very different. Governor's Island, the only way you can get there is by ferry. I find Roosevelt Island a lot more accessible, and I feel 100% fully supported by this panel and tons of other people. So I think they're not really comparable. They're 2 different things for me, the way I look at it. What I can say about Governor's Island is that we never had any issues. No overcrowding or pushing or things that got chaotic. It was always a good time. This will be our 70th event in 20 cities and 5 continents, so collectively the Figment project has a lot of experience, and I'm looking forward to having an amazing time here.
Okay, I can accept that. I'm obviously, this island is different from Roosevelt Island, Governor's Island, I understand that. So this island is a bigger challenge, and I'm sure we have kind folks who are going to meet that challenge. My second question is somewhat selfish, but I think it's relevant to many of us here, and that is typically with large crowds we have movement through the neighborhoods, litter, walking on grasses, on the grass, on lawns, onto and within flower beds, etc. For example, in Southtown, I have a question as to, in effect, if this should happen, how do we mitigate damage to property, and what's the liability, if any at all? What's the compensation if necessary? You understand the question?
I can't guarantee that anybody won't walk on lawns, flower beds, I don't think so, but our crowd is a very respectful crowd. We have principles, I could share them with you after. One of our main principles is leave no trace, and we take pride in that. And wherever we go, we like to leave it better than we found. So that's one of our guiding principles. Even in the art that we create, a lot of the materials that we source come from like recycled areas. We use it for the weekend. We work with all our artists to not throw it in the trash, to get it reused, and we work with a couple different organizations that will take the stuff post-festival. So that's something that's like kind of baked into our mission statement and how we operate.
Okay, I thank you for that. I will
David?
depart. Yes.
I just would like to take this opportunity to sing the praises of the REAC staff, because right after the Cherry Blossom Festival, I thought the island looked beautiful. So we work hard to make sure that it does.
Okay, I admit that my question is a selfish one. However, I have at least 2 boards in Southtown who are very interested in and very proud of their gardening and their lawns and so forth, and would not want the flower beds and other things to be destroyed. Thank you.
Dave, if I could, and I think it's a very fair question, and what we're going to do is, when we send the officers and supervisors, and by the way, it's an all hands for this event, which means we have to hold back a handful of people to answer calls for service, some of which could be an emergency. But outside of that, and staffing for the midnight tour, because this event goes from 10 to 10, so we can't have people working 10 to 10 and then come in for the midnight. But everybody else is going to be working, including all the senior staff. When we instruct the officers and supervisors on the way out, we'll tell them things like, gently tell folks that may have taken up residence in an area where there may be newly sodded grass or stuff like that. To just keep in mind that, we can ask them to move. So I think we can help in that regard. And since we're spread out all over the place, we can do our best to monitor the trash bins and make a notification to the ground staff if we have overflowing at any particular trash can.
Thank you, Chief. I trust you.
Okay, thanks.